Okay, good. So that's me, where I start to work. I was actually a university student, like you are at the moment, most of you, around 15 or 20 years ago, almost. That's a local TV station of my hometown, and this is where I learned about business, how business works. The first thing I learned is how difficult it is to create value. Okay, in this case, value, it's TV content. It's analog television. We were editing with tapes, very, very hard job. Probably none of you have edited videos on tapes, so really that was really complicated. The second thing I learned was about human resources. We had a limited amount of human resources, so the value we could produce was also limited. And we also had one channel to broadcast, so the value we could deliver was also limited. And the third thing I learned is that we had no clue about our audience. We had no way to connect with our audience. It was just something remote. We were creating content that we thought people might enjoy, and we were just doing that. 20 years down the road, situation has changed a lot. So probably a lot of you have already created some video and uploaded to YouTube using your digital camera, your handheld, editing something on a simple video editor, and massively distributing it through YouTube. And try not to think about potentially the Western content that you are using in YouTube. I encourage you to search for videos of Indian farmers teaching other Indian farmers the best farming techniques. Or when I go to cut my hair, they have amazing Pakistani videos so things that you don't even know that they are in YouTube. So try to think beyond this standard Western content, the diversity that this platform is creating. So here we see the confrontation of two business models, as we've heard before. So it's the linear, traditional service product business model where you source something, do something with the product and ship it, and deliver it physically or deliver it through the waves. And the person or the user will only have one role, which is consuming the content you are producing. Then we have the business model of platforms, where basically you will have at least two roles: people creating content through the platform and people consuming content through the platform, and videos of cats and these kind of things. So basically what we've seen through the internet is the emergence of this business model, of platform business model, where basically a producer is creating some value through the platform and transferring it to the consumer. So the role of a platform is to transfer a unit of value. It can be a video, it can be a tweet, it can be a wiki page, it can be a Flickr photo, whatever you do. The list is super large. And it's basically, the platform itself doesn't have value. It's a complicated piece of software, but the YouTube, without the videos and without the users, it's worthless. There's no interest on using this platform. So the real value of the platforms lies on the community around the platform. And what the key for the platform to succeed is to encapsulate, to embed all the sophisticated parts. In YouTube, when you upload something, you just upload a content, a video in almost any video format. They will encode it, they will tag it, they will add subtitles, or other people from the community can add subtitles, advertising, and you will tag the video and the title. So that's what you will do. It's kind of simple. And from the consumer point of view, you will be just searching for content that you like, and you will get a list of recommended content and related content. So it's really simple. In this digital world, it's very easy to be a value producer. So in this digital space, it's obvious that anybody can produce value. And how many of you have ever uploaded a video on YouTube or tweet or Wikipedia page, or how many are you digital producers, digital value producers? It should be everybody at this stage. Thank you. You should be tweeting about this event, by the way. But what happened in this digital space is also moving outside the web. So we see a movement from the digital space to the physical space. This is what Chris Anderson explained. Chris Anderson is the former former editor of Wire magazine. He said that these new collaboration and innovation models from the web are jumping and outside of the web and are being applied to the outside world. One example that most of you will know already, it's Airbnb. So in this case, the value being produced by the producers, it's rooms, it's places to stay, and they are being transferred in a very easy way. You can just upload your room. Professional photographer will come to your place, will take cool pictures. They will help you with the description, and then from a consumer point of view, you just search the place and the time you want to go, and you'll have an amazing list of places where you can stay. In this case, the motivation of the producer is money. Basically, it's a money-driven, a profit-driven activity to be part of this platform. Another platform is BlaBlaCar. It's a ride-sharing platform where the value being produced is empty seats, that the people go in the same direction that I'm trying to go. So the value we are exchanging, we are transferring, it's empty seats. Here, the value, it's not about earning money, it's about sharing costs. So I'm not going to make profit from this activity, but I'm motivated enough. There's 6 million people participating in this network. So there's a lot of people who are able to be value producers and value consumers in this platform. Another case, it's Yerdle, maybe the one that you might not know. It's a place where you can give things. It's very simple. You take photos with your mobile phone, and things that you don't want to use anymore, you can give them away for free. So in this case, the motivation is actually to get something away, and the producer is not going to earn money, might even lose money, because they could sell that in a second-hand shop or something like that. So, and even TEDx, I'm standing in a platform, so TEDx is a platform also, and the value we are transferring are ideas, and what I'm earning in this space is reputation. So we see different types of platforms where the producer can be money, can be just to share costs, can be just to give away, or I can earn reputation, as in the case of TEDx. So we see that it's not only the digital wall, it's actually the physical wall where everybody can be a producer. It's becoming super, super simple to be a value producer in the physical space. And this is changing and putting the earth upside down completely. Okay, it's the most radical innovations after the industrial era. It's a new economy. In terms, and I will depict a little bit the details on this new economy and how you should be thinking if you want to be part of this new economy. As we heard, you need to create a platform, you don't need to create a business as usual. So in terms of the management of assets, the inventory, the management of the workforce, and the management of the capital. First of all, you need to change your mindset completely. Don't think about producing the new car or producing an item or producing a product. You need to how do I create a platform where others can create value around the platform? I enable other users to create platform. This is a change of mindset, and we call that platform thinking. The biggest change is also stop thinking about users and start thinking about community. So move from user-centric to community-centric and empower this community to do things. The first thing, inventory. So in the industrial era, in the logistics class, probably you've heard that just-in-time is the best thing that Toyota invented. And this is how they became the leaders of the car industry. But there's something even better, which is the just not mine, okay? So this is coming from Airbnb, all the distributed infrastructure they are using, all the assets are not their assets. They are just aggregating distributed inventory that are the rooms or the seats or whatever you want to list. And the scale of change here is like tenfold. Earlier this year, Marriott, that will be a traditional company, it's a hotel chain, they said that they will be adding 30,000 rooms this year. 2 days later, one of the co-founders of Airbnb, it's Brian Chesky, he tweeted, okay, we are going to do that in the next 2 weeks. Okay, that's the massive of a scale. By the end of the year, both Marriott and Airbnb will have around 700,000 listings and total in their platforms, in their sites. For Marriott, it's 60 years. For Airbnb, it's 6 years. Okay, so this is the power of distributed management of your inventory. Also, how do you empower your community to do things? So instead of thinking on traditional employees and outsourcing the tasks that are not core to your business, you need to think about empowering your community. Facebook is translating the user interface through their community. TEDx is having all the translations also done by the community. I'm not sure if you know Waze, W-A-Z-E. Which is a real-time traffic information application where the users are actually creating all the real-time information of the traffic. It's amazing. Or GiveGav, where the customer service is provided by the users. The advanced users help the less advanced users, and there is no proper customer service in the company itself. The same for quality control. In the past, you had to check that everything was correct, all the value you were producing. Now it's the community through peer review and peer police who will monitor and who will help you to create the best possible value through the platform. And the same for R&D. In the past, it was like a small secret department somewhere that it was hidden, and now it's completely open and co-created. The examples I like the most in this space are something called Local Motors and Quirky, are amazing companies, amazing platforms that you should check. The capital also flows in different ways. Instead of I'm creating a new car, a new model, I need an investment upfront from my side, it's okay, I'm going to create a crowdfunding campaign, so I will test if this product makes sense, if I'm going to sell a number of them, and also I'm getting the money beforehand, so I'm doing pre-sales and testing, which is amazing. Okay, banks are not giving loans anymore, so we need to use actually the money from the community. They're a platform for peer-to-business lending, so the people from your community are able to lend you money to keep your business running. And also for venture capital and equity crowdfunding. So instead of using traditional venture capital, there are platforms for equity crowdfunding. Your community can be part, can be your stakeholders, part of your company. This is the way to involve your company. And probably also one of the most relevant, we've heard before about the value. So it's, in the past, companies were trying to capture value, as much value as possible. Now it's about distributing the value, or basically you create so much value around the platform, a massive amount of value that no other company can create, that just by taking a tiny part of this value, you are sustainable and you can grow like hell. The case I like here is a company called Etsy, which is a kind of eBay for handcrafts. They only take 3.5% on the sales commission, so 96.5% of the product sale goes directly to the producer. And when you want to list the product, it's 20 cents of dollar. Okay, so with that, they are creating a massive company. Check it out, Etsy. And finally, if you do that right, you are aligning your values, the values of the platform, with the values of the users. So when you are facing problems, because all these disruptive innovation business models are creating tensions in the traditional business space, instead of lobbying, you can delegate to the users to campaign for you. This is happening now in Spain with BlaBlaCar. They are facing problems with the bus industry, and the users step up and say, I want to keep sharing my car, it's my right. And also peers.org in the States, they have a platform, it's like change.org, but especially for platforms, for sharing platforms. Basically, we've seen that we are moving to an extremely efficient new economy. Okay, it's a completely new mindset, new scale, new speed, things that we cannot even imagine. There is a book from a few days ago from Jeremy Rifkin that I recommend. It's called The Zero Marginal Cost Society. So in internet, you are used that the value transfer is for free. Flickr is for free, Twitter is for free, Facebook is for free. So this concept is moving to the physical space. Not now, not in the next 2 years, but we are moving there. The cost of generating value and transferring this value through these platforms will go to zero. And this is challenging the very market forces, okay? Capitalism has been so effective in reducing the cost of generation that is going to zero for everything, okay? At the moment, we are in a hybrid system, okay? These collaborative platforms are half capitalist, half collaborative commons, that as described by Rifkin, okay? But really, it's a good read. Yep. And if you want to share it in a shorter way in tweet, you should be tweeting, as I said. Tweet that platforms are eating the world. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. This is from Sangeet Paul, who is an expert on platforms, sitting between Singapore and MIT. I recommend also his blog, platform.info. He's a very interesting blog to read. And if you are more like Instagram or Facebook, take a picture of this thing. This is more about the growth patterns of these platforms. Okay, so if you do that right, if you do that correctly, you see how amazing growth patterns you can have. There's not much research on this space yet. There are a few experts. One of the research I like the most is this Pentagrowth from here from Barcelona, Javi Kraus. He's been studying 50 of these companies that have been growing more than 50% for the last 5 years, and checking what commonalities, what are the levers that this growth is based on. Okay, like distributing your assets, as we said before, or how many roles, how you empower your users. Okay, how many roles you give to your users, or how open is your technology, how open are your partnerships, how do you deal with other companies, no? How many people you invite to your dinner, basically. And just to start concluding, it's not so much, I mean, we are in a business setting, so I have to talk about business. But here, the thing is that we are changing completely the culture, the society. Okay, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but we are actually changing the whole culture. Imagine the citizen in this space, okay? We heard before of the future of job. The future of job is not about being an employee of a single company. You'll be active in 6, 7, 10 of these networks, of these platforms, where in a network, in a platform, you will be a producer, in another network, you will be a consumer, in some places you will exchange for free, in some places you will barter, in some places you will be paid for your exchange. So you will create a network that will be the collaborative citizen, the network of the collaborative citizen, and this is how you will stand. Okay, there's an article from The Economist from last February. It's platform something to stand on. Okay, how the new citizen is becoming the center of this universe, not the companies, but the citizen and the communities around these platforms. And if the citizen and the role of the citizen is changing, also the government is changing. So the cities need to understand that they need to become platforms too. So the people living in the cities need to have mechanisms to create value through these platforms, which the city will become, and even the government. And let me conclude with a quote from this article. It's, all in all, the impact of platformization will be monumental. We are just starting to grasp, to understand the beginning of this massive change in society that is going to change absolutely everything. And if you are not a platform, think about becoming a platform as soon as possible. Thank you.